Well, obviously here in the US, the situation with the pandemic is getting worse on a daily basis. We are not alone in that. We've been talking a little bit about what's been going on in the UK. Not long ago, about a week and a half ago, parts of London had an increased lockdown that is now spreading throughout England. As new figures put the UK on course to exceed 100,000 COVID-related deaths before the end of the month, the Prime Minister said once again that people must stay at home with exercise limited to once a day. All non-essential shops were told to close for Monday night. The lockdown will last for at least 7 weeks, with measures to be reviewed during half-term week. Any relaxation would not come into effect before February 22nd. And so that is obviously amazing. I mean, having a full national lockdown being resumed, like here in the US, we have some limited lockdowns, like in LA. But if they hit that milestone, like that is obviously that's just a fraction of ours. But they're a much smaller country with a much smaller population. That is absolutely devastating.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised by this. Two, if it works, then I think it's a glaring example of what should happen here. Because I mean, I'm in South Florida, and day over day, more COVID deaths, more COVID diagnosis. It's not getting any better. And even though we've been hearing about the PPE and what we need to do and how to protect ourselves, clearly it's not working, right? It's not working. And I know, and it's terrible for us to think that we have to regress, to take 2 steps back, to take a small step forward. But if that's what it's gonna take to stop death and to get things back in order, that's what we have to do. Because beyond, John, look, there's a vaccine coming. People are having issues with that. They don't know about side effects. They don't know what, they don't know what's gonna transpire when people start, in large amounts taking this vaccine. However, in addition to the danger of COVID, the effects that COVID has brought along in regards to the economy and in regards to people's mental health, it's just there's so many different things that have come from this that need to be dealt with as well. So it's like, we have to get back to the source of all these things, and that is stopping this virus, right? So good for them for saying, hey, this is what we're gonna do. 7 weeks will go by like this because 2020 went by like that, and hopefully the results that they're looking for will come to fruition.
Yeah, hopefully. I want to give people a little bit more information about how quickly things are changing. So this is an amazing example of it. Just a day after urging millions of pupils to return to the classroom, Boris Johnson announced all schools would switch to remote learning until the February half term. So that seems like the sort of thing that happens when you give a speech and then you have a meeting and you realize that things are going in exactly the wrong direction, that they're gonna be switching in that way. Just yesterday, we had in England 26,626 COVID patients. That is like 1/4 to 1/5 of what we have in the US, but again, much smaller population. That's up 30% from just a week earlier. Over 80,000 positive tests at the very end of December, with a case rate 3 times higher than the start of December. And this, I wanna show you this tweet because it is absolutely amazing how fast the cases per million going up in England. It is almost a straight line up through December there.
Well, right, and also just to piggyback off of that, what's now coming down and being reported in the media and in the news is this new strain of COVID, right? This new like resistant strain, this super strain, whatever they're calling it. Everyone they put so much on it, but that much like when COVID first hit, started abroad, spread like wildfire, came to our shores, and here we are. Could that be, and not to scare anyone watching, but could that be the future in regards to this new strain of COVID? I mean, it's just how we have to take the precautions to protect ourselves from what's currently at our doorstep into what possibly is on the way over as well. So, look, it's John, like again, day over day, just thousands and thousands and thousands, and that's just people diagnosed. And then you go on social media, you read the articles of people that have passed away. Just okay, look, stripping it down to celebrity, if you will. Think about all the celebrities we've lost, or people that have been in that are public figures that have died from COVID. And you're like, what? Really? Like, okay, it's unreal. It's unreal. And I think people are, because we were hit so incredibly fast and hard and quick with this new normal and how to deal with it and how it became the new normal, that we now have kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say lax. We're just, again, there's a malaise about COVID now. We're just like, well, this is it. This is how things go. So we don't really think about what it is the way we thought about what it was when it first arrived. So I think we need to get back to that and really be like, okay, this is still something serious and something that we really need to be vigilant on.
We need to be especially vigilant until we get access to the vaccine, which hopefully is still the answer. And until proven otherwise, responsible people are saying that the vaccine will still protect against this new, more easily spread variant of COVID. It is more contagious, which means you need to be more careful. But if we can get the vaccine rolled out, hopefully that'll help. They're doing a little bit better in the UK than we are here in the US. I'm assuming things have to get better in the US considering all the flubs in the first couple of weeks. But once Biden gets into office, I assume the Defense Production Act will be invoked. There will be more federal oversight of the spread of the vaccine throughout the country. So hopefully within a few months of that, we'll all have access to it. But along the way, we're still in a great deal of danger. A lot of people are gonna get sick. A lot of people are gonna die. And so we have to be on our guard.
Absolutely, 100%. And you know, all the anti-maskers who feel like there's really no excuse. There's really no excuse. And I just still look, John. What, in 30 days, we would have been a year from the time we started talking about this here on TYT, right? And just it's so mind blowing, and just I don't have the word to express how unreal. That's all I can say is how unreal the last year has been and how life has changed so drastically. Never did I think in my life I would be experiencing this ever.
No, although I've given you credit a couple of times during the pandemic when we had that, it was on the Young Turks and you were very worried. I would say the worst prediction I've ever had was that no, it's not gonna be that bad. I thought it would be bad. And I didn't think that it wouldn't be bad because it's not a terrible disease. I thought it wouldn't be this bad because I assumed, I mean, sure, it's Trump and it's the Republicans, but they don't want tons of people to die. You know, if not for the human toll, that would be bad for them, right? And I was very wrong and you were very right. I mean, this is worse than I think either of us assumed could be the worst, but yeah, we're almost at that 1 year anniversary. We're gonna have you as the co-host on that anniversary. We're gonna look back on this year.
John, you know, the only reason why I had made that comment during that one time on the main show is because growing up I read Stephen King's The Stand, and that book was so like the way Stephen King was able to depict a virus, a super virus that will wipe out 99% of humanity, and the way it started in an isolated place and then it escaped. It just harkened back to that. And in your defense, the way your thought process isn't off. Most normal people would think like, yeah, no, I mean this is unreal. This sounds crazy, like, you know. So, and a lot of people thought that, but here we are. So again, that I'm not looking forward to the vaccine only because I don't like needles. I would like a nasal injection or a pill. I'm definitely afraid of needles, but however, I will take one. I will take two because you gotta take two. I'll take two for the team.
Yeah, regardless of how bad a needle is, a ventilator's worse. So we're gonna take the vaccine, there you go. Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.